Welcome back to another Versus video right here at Comicstorian. Now, it's a constant argument among comic book fans. And if there are two heroes that everyone likes to argue over who could beat them, that would be the Hulk and Superman. Well, good news! Today we are not gonna look at those two heroes. Well, not both of them anyway. Now, who could beat the Hulk? Don't get me wrong. I know that the Hulk has been beaten up before in comics by several characters, but most of the time, that is to help the story along, and the Hulk eventually comes back to win in the end. The easiest way to shut down any who would win argument is the simplest. The person who wins is whoever the writer likes the best and helps the story move along. But that's a cop-out. If you had two characters and no real story, who would win? So let's look at someone who might be able to take down the Hulk. Other than Superman, but that's a fight for another day. DC's Hulk, or Damage if you want to use his real name. Now, the character of Damage has actually been around since 1994, when he was introduced in Damage #1. However, that is not the character we're looking at. In 2018, DC Comics introduced their New Age of Heroes line, which included new heroes in teams that somewhat spun out of Dark Knight's Metal event. Many fans pointed out that many of these characters shared more than a few passing similarities to Marvel characters. Sideways was said to be DC's Spider-Man, Brimstone was very similar to the Ghost Rider, and of course, Damage is essentially DC's Hulk. It's true and yet not. While there are some similarities, there are some major differences. So let's go ahead and start by looking at the character. Damage is Ethan Avery, who grew up idolizing superheroes. So much so that when he joined the US Army at the age of 18, he wanted to be a hero, similar to Flash Thompson. After doing a tour over in Iraq, Ethan came back and then volunteered for the Damage Project. The project was designed to create super soldiers that would eliminate the need for soldiers to lose their lives in the line of duty. Using a version of the miracle drug, which is what gives our man his powers, Ethan was injected and now had the ability to transform into the creature known as Damage. That in itself is one of the major ways that Hulk and Damage differ. Ethan can control his transformation and doesn't have to worry about becoming angry. Now, once transformed, Ethan has 1 hour as Damage. Remember that whole Our Man connection? During this time, Ethan has no memories of what Damage does, essentially making them two separate people. Damage mostly has the abilities of the Hulk: super strength, agility, speed, invulnerability, healing, and the ability to leap really far. I said he was similar to the Hulk in a lot of ways. Because he would begin to question what he was doing as Damage, Ethan would eventually go on the run from the Damage Project. He would be hunted down by the Suicide Squad, but managed to easily defeat them as Damage. He would also go toe-to-toe with Wonder Woman, holding his own even against her magical attacks. Now, as with many of the New Age of Heroes characters, Damage seemingly disappeared into the DC universe. Hopefully, we'll get to see him again. If you're curious about where he was last left off, Batman dropped him onto an island to live all by himself. Sounds like Hulk, doesn't it? Now, what do we need to say about the Hulk? Alright, well, some of you might not know who this character is. So the Hulk first appeared in 1962 in Incredible Hulk #1 and was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Bruce Banner was a brilliant scientist who was transformed after getting caught in the blast from his own gamma radiation bomb. He was trying to save the life of teenager Rick Jones, who had wandered into the testing area. After he was changed, Bruce went on the run. Whenever he grew angry, he would become the destructive Hulk and unable to remember what had happened to him. While he was generally a good guy, the Hulk was constantly on the run from the US Army and the destruction that he caused. Bruce spent most of his time trying to find a cure for the Hulk, to no avail. In his long history, the Hulk has changed colors. He's become smarter. He's gone into space and become a warlord of his own planet, come back to our world to try and destroy it, become smarter again, become evil, become good, and now he's evil again. There seems to be no limit to the Hulk's strength, as he has shown that the angrier that he becomes, the more powerful he becomes. So, what would happen if these two powerhouses met? Alright people, I want you to imagine a giant CGI fight. Are you there? You know what? Better yet, let's imagine Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk versus Dwayne Johnson as Damage. Yeah, I like that idea. It's the middle of New York and Hulk is on another rampage. The US Army has no choice. They send in the one weapon they might have that might be able to stop this destructive creature from another universe: Damage. Leaping from a Black Hawk helicopter over the city, Ethan Avery plummets towards the pavement below. In mid-fall, he transforms, becoming the powerhouse known as Damage. The concrete cracks beneath his weight, and as the dust clears, our two monsters regard each other. The Hulk grunts, he roars, rushing at the challenger that stands before him. The two go punch for punch, blow for blow, testing one another's strengths. And with a swift backhand, Damage knocks the Hulk clear through a building, leaping after him quickly. Now in terms of strength, the two seem to be matched, but something is wrong. It's never taken Damage this long to defeat a foe. The more he hits the Hulk, the stronger the beast seems to get. And with widespread destruction all around them, the army has no choice but to evacuate the city. Damage keeps fighting, but his blows seem to be having less and less effects on the Hulk, until finally the Green Giant manages to get a hold of him, and he begins to hammer on him, blow after blow, driving Damage into the ground. "Hulk, strongest there is!" he bellows. As the Hulk is about to land the killing blow, he pauses, confused. And the cracked pavement is no longer a monster, but a man. Damage's hour is up. The Hulk snorts something about puny man, and then he turns and he leaps away. Come on, you didn't think we'd let the Hulk lose, did you? All right, guys, as usual, I took to Twitter at Comicstorian and I asked you, Hulk versus Damage. Who do you think would win and why? Well, here's your answers. From our editor, who happens to have already edited the rest of the video, he responded with, the Hulk, because I'm a fortune teller. Yes, we know, Dylan. You happen to have the video in front of you already. We got Badet Geek stating, Hulk, because Hulk smash. She actually misspelled Hulk. We got hull smash. So I guess she wants to smash the hull of a ship. PW Presents says, Hulk, Damage only lasts an hour. Hulk just needs to outlast him, assuming he doesn't ground him into paste. Well, I mean, if you already saw the rest of the video, you know we thought the exact same thing. The Anime Rogue says, Hulk, but there is a reason Damage is strong, but Damage hasn't been around for a long time, so we haven't seen his full power. Hulk we've seen at all power levels, even when the MCU pretty much neutered him. Also, can Damage only be him for a certain amount of time? Robert Hayes says, World Breaker Hulk can tap into his power almost like a Saiyan. I see a lot of people talking about Damage's time limit. Real talk, the fight ends before that. And lastly, we've got Danny telling us, well, you call Damage DC's Hulk, so that makes the fight really easy. Hulk. Okay, now you're just doing semantics, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget the next Versus video, which will be coming out in 2 weeks. You can get your response into the video by going to Twitter at Comicstorian. Let us know in the comments down below other Versus you would love for us to do over here on the channel. We're going to be bringing them to you every other Monday, rotating with our full story series. So make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I hope you guys enjoyed.